You're listening to Opie and Anthony. On the virus, Sirius-XM.
I can't get enough of watching those stupid fucking documentaries.
I'm a huge fan of documentaries.
Watch them all the time.
Fucking
it's like,
huge fan.
It's all I watch. I don't think I watch one like fake show.
Yeah. So what about JFK?
JFK one. It was the JFK detail, the Secret Service.
And this is new again because two of the big Secret Service guys just came out with a book. They've been making the rounds.
Yep.
Talking about their perspective and what happened on that day from their vantage point.
Yeah. Yeah. It was amazing. Fucking great documentary on the actual detail that was protecting JFK when he was in Dallas and was assassinated. And they are still fucked up about it.
Of course.
Like, they talk about it. And the whole thing they also talk about is they didn't get right into it. It wasn't, you know, here, let's start the documentary as they're making the turn, you know. It was their relationship with the Kennedy family, with Jackie, with the kids. Like, they called it the diaper detail, the guys that have to take care of the kids. And the Kennedys made sure that there was mutual respect between the Secret Servicemen and the children. Like, they trusted their children's lives with these people. And the people, Kennedy made sure he knew all their names. And they were really impressed with that because they'd been on other details and they could care less. And then Johnson afterwards, it was a completely different story.
They worked with Johnson afterwards?
Yeah, a couple of them did.
I thought these guys would have to retire after what they saw that day.
A couple did. One did. A couple were transferred. Yeah, but the biggest thing, though...
What a shitty car. You see that?
It was supposed to have a bubble on it.
But you see, it's just a fucking lug.
Big lug.
Big lug of a car.
They started talking about a few things during the motorcade that were happening that completely dispel the conspiracy bullshit.
Oh, really?
Why the car slowed down. Why did the car slow down? Why the detail was taken off the car and put into the second car. And it was all... Well, the motorcade had been through the populated part of the streets and were in the sparse area. They were just getting ready to go on to the freeway.
Right. They were done.
And
they were just about done.
You don't go on the freeway hanging on the fucking... the president's car, so they went to the secondary vehicle. They slowed down because it was a very sharp turn with a lot of fucking crowd around them. So that was the slowdown point. And all of them said, I heard 3 shots over my shoulder. It definitely came from the window. It was Oswald. A couple of them spoke with Oswald shortly after he was arrested and said he was just an arrogant little man who wanted to be something, and one of them was like, good thing he didn't even get a chance to get his popularity from shooting the president, thanks to Jack Ruby. But unfortunately, they said it just ended the story there. They couldn't get the real story by talking to him, and that's why all this conspiracy things came into play. But all these guys just said 3 shots. It was one boom, and then a boom, boom, like faster, and then a little faster, the third shot. Definitely from the window. They said no other place. They didn't hear, see. And these are the guys that were right the fuck there. They watched it. One of the guys talked about how he was climbing up on the back of the car and just saw Kennedy's head explode right in front of his face.
Jesus.
Just saw that right in front of his face. Went like, holy shit, he knew it. He turned to the car behind him and gave a thumbs down. Like, oops, that's about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I got to send you this video somebody sent me last week that the driver of the limo shot Kennedy holding a pistol in his left hand over his right shoulder.
Over his shoulder.
That stupid video. I know what you mean.
Did you see it?
Of course I have.
It's
a reflection of something.
Right.
Nice work, Lou.
It really does. Like if you're a complete retard conspiracy idiot, you would think, but
that's why the car slowed down. That's why Kennedy's head snapped back, and that's why Jackie ran away to try to get away from the gun.
Yeah, but never said it after she got to the hospital. That was him. Yeah,
right
there. Yeah, let's see.
There it is. That's the money shot.
He fucking turned around because he knew there was a major fucking problem in the back seat,
and he's holding a big gun.
Who would just keep looking forward and driving?
Yeah, I'm just gonna drive.
Right.
Yeah, I got to show you the video. I'll send it to you.
I got to see the video. I'm sure a lot of people, will go with that.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm sure Jesse Ventura is all about it.
Sure he is.
Driver. I'm driving.
And I'm sure, again, WikiLeaks has had any stuff on this or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's turned all the way around and he's got a gun. Oh, boy.
You want to believe any reports, any Warren Commission? I don't. It's the government. He was sent to shoot him. He turned around. You could see it in that crisp, clear video.
He must have looked in the rearview mirror like a trick shot.
Yeah, it's a trick shot.
Yeah.
How much of a trick shot have you got?
As a Navy SEAL, I made that shot many times. It's possible.
He's using the mirror like Annie Oakley would do back in the old days.
Annie Oakley.
Good old Annie Oakley. What a bust.
The relative of Annie Oakley.
Yeah, of course.
Let me say hi to Frank in Manhattan. He saw the documentary and he wants in.
What's it called?
It's called Secret Service, The Kennedy Detail, I believe.
On Netflix?
I think it was Nat Geo or Discovery.
Couldn't jazz up the name of the documentary to get more people to watch?
I kind of liked it. Simple.
Yeah, that's what that would get me right there.
You think?
Yeah.
Kennedy Detail? Yeah.
Yeah. And before that was Secrets of the Secret Service, which was a nice, really good fucking shit of their equipment and everything.
Well, Frank in Manhattan, you're on the Opie and Anthony show.
Good morning, boys.
Hello, Frank.
Hey, I did see this. Like,
Frank was better.
Fascinating. But the one thing that I don't know if you noticed, Dan,
Yeah.
did you happen to see? And I think this is the first time they've ever really shown it in detail. Pictures of Jackie in her pink suit, which we've all seen,
Yeah.
but for the first time, they show massive blood stains all over.
Oh, we've seen that before. They've shown it. Yeah. She wanted. She said she wanted everybody to see what they did to him. They did to him. So she didn't change her clothes for the whole time until she got back to Washington. So on the plane during the swearing in of Johnson, she's standing there with that pink dress, just fucking soaked in blood all down her leg.
How the fuck do you eat your lunch?
I think she skipped lunch that day.
You think?
Yeah, she probably did.
Oh my god,
she skipped lunch.
She had a piece of his brain in her hand.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Fucking
she didn't want to let him go out of the car. The Secret Service guy came over and put his jacket over Kennedy's face, and they brought him into the hospital. And then all that other conspiracy shit about why the autopsy, why it was so fast, why they got him on the plane so fast to do that. It all came down to this. A lot of it was the Secret Service's pride and remorse and guilt and everything. They just wanted to take him back home on Air Force One. They didn't want to. The law said there had to be an autopsy in Dallas. Yes. Dallas says if someone's killed in Dallas, there has to be an autopsy. So they did that as a technicality, so they could get him on the fucking plane.
Well, they basically, I think the Secret Service just basically overpowered.
They did. They
and
said
they got a
he's
judge
going
down.
home with us.
We're taking him.
Yeah.
Here was the problem. They didn't know what was happening. They didn't know. They really thought it could be a Russian plot. It could be a farm. They had no idea in that moment what was happening. So they didn't know if fucking Lyndon Johnson was going to be targeted next.
Right.
They didn't know who was in Dallas, what they were doing. Lyndon Johnson, they wanted Lyndon. If Lyndon Johnson had just left Dallas, Kennedy would not have been rushed out of there.
Sure.
But Johnson felt that it would look cowardly.
Yeah, if he
left JFK in Dallas and ran home. He felt it would look cowardly to leave the president in Dallas.
So they needed to get the fuck out of
He sat on the fucking tarmac and waited for him.
Yeah, the
he
Secret
waited
Service
for JFK.
Said they all agreed. They were like, no, he's going home on Air Force One. And that's that. So they called a mortuary. They brought a coffin in. Then they were telling the story about how they were trying to get the coffin in the plane and the handles wouldn't fit through the door. So they had to bust the handles off the side of the coffin and just and then they talk about how the plane ride was and how.
What did they say about that?
Just depressing, silent.
Did they at least put a movie on to
I don't think they
lighten the
had
atmosphere a little bit?
Movie playing.
No.
In that, no, I don't think
What were the big
so.
movies of '63? Fine opportunity to see a big Hollywood hit.
I don't know if they were really playing lots of movies in Air Force One back then.
I'm sure Air Force One had a way of playing movies.
I think everybody
the rest of us
kind
know.
of just wanted to sit and maybe think.
Really?
Ponder.
So they put on some Carpenters
Things
music?
like that, some the nice mellow
Some
music.
somber music?
Somber.
They had to do something. You can't just sit there and
They sat there in utter shock, is what they did.
Yeah.
They just sat there second-guessing every
Did they break out
single
playing
move they
cards,
made.
maybe?
No.
Maybe take the opportunity to get some reading in?
I don't think so. They sat there staring at the backs of seats, I'm sure.
She walked in.
You think there was one asshole that was asking for food or something?
Hey, come on, where's a drink?
Not-
They probably were drinking.
Sure.
Crazy.
I think she walked in and Lyndon Johnson was in the master bedroom, or so he was somewhere. or he was in JFK's office on the plane. He was doing something on the plane, and Jackie kind of walked in, and Johnson like got out of it. He felt it was inappropriate to.
He was probably covering his tracks
to be there.
That Johnson, very suspicious of that fucking guy.
It's not. It was Lee Harvey Oswald.
Really? Look at the pictures of Johnson after he left office with the long hair and stuff. What was that guy about?
Something was going on. Kind of took its toll on that man.
You think? Like working a jackhammer?
Yeah.
So what is your thoughts on it? You always thought just Oswald?
Yeah. I thought just Oswald. Not always. I mean, you always listen to it early on and think, well, that's interesting or that. But when you have the guys that were right the fuck there, and you know, they haven't been killed in mysterious ways, and they swear this is what they saw and heard, and
then
they were
Oswald,
emotionally invested in this.
Then that Oswald was a very smart man. Because if you ever been to that area down there in Dallas, we've done it. I've done it a few times now. Like you said, that left turn is fucking a doozy. You got to slow the fuck down, and then he's right in that window.
Yeah,
setting up his shit.
And they have them, all the Secret Service guys, in the window, looking out, and they're saying,
"Why not that window?"
They go, "That is absolutely doable." They're like, it's just completely.
But why
doable.
didn't they have that window covered? I guess presidential detail was a lot different.
There was so many windows too. There were people hanging out the windows, cheering them on.
But that just seems like a window. That area seems like something someone might have dropped the ball on.
One of the Secret Service guys said when they came around the corner and saw that building, the first thing, it doesn't look like the rest of the buildings. The color was very orange, and it drew his attention to the building, but he never saw anything odd that he should have been looking at. Any more so than any of the other buildings, but he said it did catch his attention.
A photographer did look up and see Oswald in the window, and he said he's the same guy. He got a Pulitzer-winning photo, and I forget which photo he took, but he could have gotten a photo of Oswald in the window, but it was not. He thought it was a Secret Service guy because it was before the assassination. He had the gun, and he saw him up there, and he said, of course, he regretted not taking that photo.
Someone's got a picture of that somewhere. Maybe it's in an attic.
I would think it would come out.
It would have been out already. Everyone got their film developed that day. Believe me.
You think everybody?
But nobody was looking that way.
But there's always they're all full.
But there's always a few dummies in the crowd that probably don't even realize they have an amazing.
It's like the people that have like Picassos in their attic.
Exactly.
Somebody's just got.
We're going to talk about American Pickers. They're coming in a little while. They'll explain this shit. People just don't realize what they got.
Yeah,
that's true. 9/11. The first plane hit was in a videotape. Guy didn't even realize he had it on tape.
Right.
He was videotaping going into the tunnel, the Lincoln Tunnel.
Ooh, what a thrill that must have been.
He was doing some kind of a dumb video for his father at home in like Sweden or whatever. There's 2 pieces of footage of the first plane hitting. The one we've all seen.
Yeah.
And another one in the background.
From the Jersey side?
Yeah. Could you see that, Danny? He didn't even realize he had it, and he almost taped over it.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. I'm sure there are people in the crowd that never really even, they might not even develop their photos because like, I didn't get a shot at JFK. I was just shooting around, and this is just a waste.
I mean,
they're not smart enough to go back now and look at their shit. I'm telling you.
We
see these dummies every day just walking around.
Yeah.
Every ounce of footage from that day has been, you say first tower or first hit or whatever, from Jersey or wherever it was. It might have been in Brooklyn going to the Battery Tunnel. I'm not sure.
Battery Tunnel?
But it's like a little puff of smoke in the back. And he did not realize he had it.
She tape over it. Yeah, it's I bet there is something in someone's attic basement, pile of photos.
I think so too.
Some dummy,
and they just don't.
I don't know what this is.
They just don't
remember.
Know. Right.
I do recall,
and it might not ever come out.
It's like
that's one of the questions asked God.
5 gunmen on the fence on the knoll.
Right. Right.
Oh, what is this photograph?
Right.
The Virus. Sirius-XM. This is